Hi, besties. Welcome to the Feral Fiction Podcast, where dark romance meets zero chill.
Where red flags are aesthetic, morally gray men are our love language, and our therapists have questions.
If you've ever thrown your Kindle, developed a parasocial relationship with a fictional assassin, or said, maybe I can fix him, congratulations, you're in the right place. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the Feral Fiction Podcast. I'm Ariel.
And I'm Laura. Tonight we're back for another unhinged episode of Feral Opinions. And you know us.
We're nothing if not opinionated.
You know what they say about opinions. So let's dive on in. Our first segment tonight is called Trigger Warnings, Menu, or Spoilers. Trigger warning lists are kind of controversial these days. Some people really want them to be understandably saving their sanity, and others think it effectively spoils the plot of the book for them. So, what do we think?
I'm kind of in between. I feel like a trigger warning can be really good for, preparing you and helping you take care of your mental health and everything. I don't think they so say spoil the book, but I do think sometimes it turns people off to reading books that they probably could stomach or could get through. Like, I feel like there are some books out there that I want to try to read, but I feel like some of the trigger warnings might be like putting a little bit of fear in me. And I'm like, do I go ahead and read it anyway? Do I just completely put the book off? Like, that's where I'm
Yeah.
kind of like in between.
So I have next to no triggers when I read a book, which is wild. My only trigger is like on page child death. So for me, I do actually, I don't know what this says about my mental health and my sanity. I do actually read a trigger warning list like a menu. I don't think it spoils anything for me because I feel like in most of them, it's not like specific enough for me to be like, oh, well, now I know what's going to happen. It's more of a, hey, that's going to happen.
Right. And that's where I feel like I agree. I'm like, it's not really a spoiler, but I'm like, I feel like it's there and it's like I don't know how much they're going to talk about it. I don't know if it's going to be like a big part of the book, if it's not. So then it's like one of the books that I do want to read. I think I was telling you about this. It's called like The Favorite Girl and like The Caged Girl by this
Oh, yeah.
author Monica Araya, I think her name is. Sorry if I said that wrong, chat, or if I got her name wrong, but I was like reading it and I sent Laura the trigger warnings and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is something you'd like to read." And I'm like, "But I've heard so many like polarizing opinions on it that I might just try to like push through it, but it does make me nervous." And I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Well, and now there's kind of a trend of authors including, especially like on Kindle Unlimited or ebooks, where authors will include like a link to their website that has the list of trigger warnings on it. So you can like go read it if you want to, but it's not like right there in the book. Although, a little bit, if you don't want to read the trigger warnings, you could just skip that page.
Yeah.
Hot take. Hot take.
That is a hot take. That is what Monica did for The Favorite Girl and The Caged Girl. I had to go to her website and like find the book that I wanted to read and it had the triggers listed. And I feel like the trigger warnings for me, I don't get triggered in a sense of like it makes me really upset or like I'm in like a dark place or anything. It's just like like I don't know. You know when you're okay, this is the
Like it
best
gives
thing
you
that
the ick.
yes, this is the best thing that I can equate it to. Have you watched 13 Reasons Why on
No, but I read the book.
Okay, so there's a scene in chat, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a scene in 13 Reasons Why, I think it was the second season, and it was like one of the very last episodes, and it's kind of like this guy's villain origin story, and he gets essayed by a bunch of other male classmates with a broomstick. And it is very graphic and it was very like it was one of those things where you're watching it and like your stomach bottoms out, you feel like physically ill and you're like, how do I come back from that? And they
Right.
ended up, long story short, Netflix ended up actually like removing that scene. So
Oh,
if you
wow.
didn't watch it like in the original, you know how they drop like a season and you watch it immediately when it comes out.
Hmm.
So if you didn't watch it immediately when it came out, I think they took that scene out, so it's not there anymore. But I feel like I have that reaction sometimes to books. So I'm like, but it's not all the time. Like there are
Hmm.
some times with some ways that people are murdered that I'm like, oh, I'm totally fine with. And then there are other times where I'm like, I'm ill.
Well, like for you, one of the ones that we read, well, kind of read together, was Hunting Adeline. And
Yeah.
that has obviously a list of trigger warnings. Um, and I do feel like maybe you got a little scared with that one.
I
But
did, yeah.
but I also kind of feel like you got into it a little bit of the ways and you were like, "Oh, I don't know." So sometimes I do feel like it kind of predisposes you to think like, "Oh no, this horrible horrible thing is going to happen." Sometimes though, a trigger warning list, hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Bryn Weaver loves to have a really funny trigger warning list.
Yeah.
Um, like for example, and I'm gonna look it up right now so I can like accurately tell you what the trigger warning list is. Um, but I feel like sometimes they're just so funny that you're like, yeah, this book is gonna be great.
Mhm. I can't
Uh,
remember what book I just read, but they had a funny trigger warning list, and I was like, I
Lights
think
Out, I also feel like had kind of a funny trigger warning list.
Light, Lights Out is like one of my favorite like dark stalker romances because of the addition of humor that she puts in it. I just think throughout the trigger warnings and the book, just chef's kiss on the humor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like, so the Butcher and Blackbird trigger list, and I'm looking at it right now, y'all, straight from her website. Um, it's got things like accidental cannibalism, not so accidental cannibalism, ill-advised use of kitchen implements. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I need you to read this book because I need like a live reaction of you reading this book. It's just so funny. But the trigger warning list is funny,
Yeah,
so it's more like a menu.
I appreciate that.
It's a book about serial killers, so there's some generally messed up murder and chaos. Yeah, girl, pop off,
Yeah,
queen. Okay, Bryn Weaver.
read it. She seems funny.
You know what? I would love to be friends with her. Hey, Bryn Weaver. If you want to be friends,
Yeah, we'll add her to the list. Bryn Weaver, LJ
yeah,
Shin.
yeah.
I don't know who's. Oh, HD Carlton. We would like to. Also,
HD, if you want to be friends with us.
we're really fun
We
friends. I
are so
promise. Like,
we are hilarious, actually.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
yes.
Oh man. Okay, so at the end of the day, take a trigger warning menu list, or leave
Oh,
it a menu. It reads like a menu every time. Sometimes it really hypes you up for the book, though. To be fair.
I agree. I say, depending on your vibe, take what you need. I always recommend starting with an easier to digest dark
Mhm.
romance first, and you can kind of figure out how you feel about your trigger warnings and your triggers, and then you can go from there. Unlike us, we just kind of jump straight into it, but
We
I think
really
it works.
dove on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think
do
it
think it
works
worked.
for us.
Obviously it worked because here we are.
Right.
Um,
We're
I
both
think,
just unhinged enough that it
yeah.
works.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also, if you're looking for a great place to start reading dark romance, any of the books that we've read so far on this pod have been a great starting point. Also, Lights Out, which we read a long periodically time ago. Anything by Bryn Weaver is going to be funny also, so it has some elements that are lighter that I feel like work really well for like new dark romance readers. So if you're looking for something and you're new to this, there you go.
Yes, agreed.
Any other thoughts on trigger warnings?
Nope, just protect your mental health, protect your
Protect your mental
peace,
health. Yeah, 100%.
and
There's no
you know,
shame in DNFing a book that's making you feel icky.
yeah, books are supposed to make you feel good
I won't
and
do it, but
and
everybody else can.
right. They can make you feel icky, but you have to be able to move past it. If it's making you
Yeah,
feel constantly icky or you can't get past it and you're like, oh, I can't push through, then don't do it.
yeah, yeah, definitely not. All right. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. Hey, I don't watch football, but here is our Morally Gray Men draft. Welcome to our Morally Gray Men draft. Your feral hosts will each pick 4 Morally Gray Men, and you, our feral fans, can vote on who had the best lineup on our TikTok when we actually remember to post the poll. So,
Yes.
our categories are most unhinged, only soft for her, would go to jail for me, and would ruin my life.
Mhm.
Would you like to have first pick?
Sure. Let me think for a second.
Let's do most unhinged first.
That's what I was figuring. Okay. And you guys, I'm trying to come up with these on the top of my head at 11 p.m. at night. So
Keep her up
apologies
late
if you
with
don't
fun.
think Yeah, apologies if you don't think these are morally gray enough, but I will come out swinging with a heavy hitter of our most recent read, Mr. Tiernan Callahan, as,
Oh, okay,
as
okay.
my most unhinged because of spoiler warning if you guys haven't read Bad Bishop,
Or watched our
or
pod
you
because we spoil it.
right, or haven't watched our pod. I feel like just has I don't even know no boundaries, I guess, when it comes to his unhingedness, unless it comes to, his wife. But
Mhm.
I love how unhinged and like psycho he is. Nothing phases him. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm deathly. Like, he just is like solid.
He's like, I got one
Unhinged.
eyeball now. That's great.
No,
Cool.
literally. And the eyeball scene that kind of solidified that he's probably one of the most unhinged MMCs I've read. So Tiernan Callahan is my first pick.
Okay. For most unhinged, the pick is in for me. I don't know the song. Do 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 do.
There it is. Good job.
Yay! My pick for most unhinged is gonna be Riot. I don't remember his last name from The
Archer.
Ritual. Riot Archer, yeah, Riot
Oh.
Archer from the Ritual. Him, crazy. If you haven't read The Ritual, I highly recommend it because he does some really crazy stuff. Like, I mean, really kind of crazy.
I need to get back into it. I honestly, you guys couldn't even tell you where I stopped. And it has been all over my TikTok comments. They're like, you need to read it. You need to read it. And you guys are going to hate me, but I started it and there was just not enough plot for me in the first bit that I read.
There's not a
So
lot
I
to
got
talk
so
throughout.
I got bored. I was like, I could read about corn somewhere else and not I like in a book I want at least some plot and there was
You're
none
like,
for the
I'm a
first like
lady. I need
25%.
plot with my corn.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, you gotta set it up somehow for me to enjoy it other than just, that. So but I will try to get back into it.
All right. Only soft for her. Your pick.
Okay, let me think. Let me think. Oh, let me think. Let me think. I'm trying to think of all the books that I've read.
Which is a
Okay,
lot. Like,
yeah. You probably will not get this one because I
oh,
don't
it's a
think
throne of glass, huh?
yes, I don't think you've read this series yet. And you guys, honestly, you might not agree with me on this because I haven't finished the Throne of Glass series yet, but pick is in. Do 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 do. Only soft for her, from what I am understanding right now. I will say Mr. Rowan Whitethorn from Throne of Glass. And I may correct that statement whenever I finish the series, but for now, Rowan is very like hard and like he is, I'm not gonna spoil too much for you, but he's like a Fey warrior, and so he's just like this strong, powerful, like people are fearful of him. But when it comes to his girl, he's like playful and like funny, and I'm like,
Is that the one? Okay, so Ariel sent me a while back and to our whole book club one of those like screenshot it and that's your like book boyfriend,
yes,
whatever kind of person. Is that the one that I got?
yes.
Hey.
I love him
I love
so
that for
far.
me.
I'm about to start the tandem read, so you can drop in the comments too if you feel like I was incorrect in saying that. But where I am right now in Throne of Glass, he is only soft for his girl.
All right. Only soft for her. Okay. Pick is in. Do do do
Okay.
do 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 do. This one is gonna. I don't know. I don't know how y'all are gonna feel about that. I'm gonna go with Rhysand, and the reason I'm gonna go with that is because have you heard him talk to everybody else? You hear him talk to Nesta?
But nobody likes Nesta's ass. But I agree. I agree.
Well, okay. That aside, like Nesta just being a general like gloomy Eeyore rain cloud all over book 5. Um, actually though, you hear how him talk to everybody else?
Yeah. I'm actually glad you picked him because I was wondering if he was like morally
Yeah.
grayish enough
Is he
to be on
morally
this
gray
list.
enough? I
But
think so.
I feel like yes, because I was considering him for a pick.
Well, yeah, and also because he just like, I mean, him and Tampon like to go back and forth, like marking each other's families. So
True.
yeah, I think so.
True.
All right. The morally gray. Wow, I can't speak. Words are so hard. The morally gray man who would go to jail for you.
This one comes very easily for me from one of our most recent reads that we absolutely did not like. The pick is in. Do 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 do. It is Fireman Jack from He Sees You When You're Sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
Fireman
Yeah.
Jack would literally go to jail for me. He's so cinnamon roll, even though he's like morally gray with his stalking, technically, he would totally go to jail for me.
He's like morally grayish, I feel like. I don't even feel like he's all the way
Yeah.
morally gray. He's
I
like
think
got one little speck. He's got like morally dusty.
right. It's literally just his stalking and his inability to admit to his stalking that make him be morally gray. But he's the first one that popped in mind because I was like, he 100% would take any sort of jail time for me because he's too nice.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. I gotta look up what his name is. So for my pick for this one, would go to jail for me. Is the MMC from the book Toxic, which is it's a book about a guy who's like in prison, and the girl is I gotta look up what his name is. I can't remember it. The girl is like the prison nurse, and so he like I don't know. Spoiler alert if you want to read it. This is about Toxic by Nicole Blanchard. He like orchestrates a prison break where he like forces her to break him out of prison. She's in this like horribly abusive marriage and she like offs her husband when he's trying to hurt her. And the MMC the one who was in prison comes to like help her. Grayson is his name. So
Okay.
he
I
would go
feel
to
like that's
prison. He
on
was
my list.
already in prison. He would go to jail for me.
Guys, he knows how to handle prison.
Yeah,
So
he'd been there before.
he's like, I got this girl.
Oh gosh. All right. The morally gray man who would ruin your life.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. The pick is in, the very last pick of my draft.
Of your 2026 Morally Gray Man draft.
2026 Morally Gray Man draft. My very last pick is in. Do 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 do. The man who would ruin my life, whether, and you guys can decide if it's in a good way or a bad way, would be Zaid Meadows.
What? That's what I was
cheer.
gonna pick.
Oh, I was like, we share a brain when it comes to some of these things. So I just feel like it could go either way. I feel like he could ruin it in a good way to where I become like completely obsessed with him and it becomes a problem. Or he could ruin it in a bad way because he is very forceful and he's very specific with some of the things that he likes to do. And sometimes, if you're just not in that kind of mood, it could make you a little upset. But Zayd is just kind of like, I don't care. We're going to go through with it and we're going to do it anyway.
We're gonna do this today.
Yeah, the way I want, how I want. And sometimes I independent woman and I say no to men. And Zayd would not like that. But I still do adore him. So I would say he would ruin my life.
Okay, well, now that I have to pick a different one, the final pick of the 2026 Morally Gray Man draft. The one who would ruin my life, Zayden Ryerson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. On account of, what do you mean? Now I am running your kingdom in your absence. When I could have been a scribe.
Facts. And Honey Bun Dane tried to get her to be a scribe.
Listen, eyes on me, Dane Atos.
I saw.
You know what? He's kind of morally gray, right? He'd ruin my life too.
I would put Dane absolutely in would ruin my life or would go to jail for me. Because I feel like if Dane is
for me.
I feel like if Dane is really, really in it, I feel like it's coming. I feel like his arc is coming. But I hope not with Sloane. That's an unpopular opinion. I hate Sloane. But
no. The two of them.
I know we have differing opinions on this, but I am a Sloane hater.
You got 10 toes down on that.
And I stand, everybody, I will always stand 10 toes down on my opinions and I will never give it up. But I saw a tweet today that was like, just reminding you all that about a year ago, today was when we read the line, like, it's yours now. And I was like, oh my gosh, Onyx Storm literally came out almost a year ago. Isn't that nuts?
Becky, what you doing?
Also, I'm gonna have to pause and put my phone on the charger, so that means I will have to get off of my mic. So if I start to be fuzzy and sound fuzzy, apologies to the viewers, but my phone finna die.
Okay. Our second to last segment is called Book Talk Made Me Do It. We'll pick one viral book from Book Talk that we did enjoy, and then we'll pick one that we did not enjoy. Would you like to go first?
Ooh, everyone knows what I'm gonna say, because as you said earlier, I will always stand 10 toes down on all of my opinions.
And you will. And hey, opinions are like what?
And I will find my people. I am slowly on TikTok finding people that are braving this book's likers and the people that love this book. They are braving them and they are coming out in the comments saying, actually, I agree with you. I don't like that book. And I'm like, thank you. Don't be afraid to stand on your opinions. But the one viral book from Book Talk that I do not recommend to anybody at all ever is Quicksilver. I feel it is overhyped. I feel the FMC is annoying. She is lame. She is a bother.
Love to want to go back to crusty, dusty homeworld. Like, girl, no.
Crusty, dusty, musty gets upset with everything. She says, I want you to like me. He says, I like you. She says, oh no, I can't believe it. Don't want you to like me. Like, oh, she very annoying. Also, MMC, rude, mean, annoying for like 75% of the book. And then he's like, I love you. No, I don't buy it. And it doesn't turn me on that you're being mean and rude. So that book was the worst. I struggled through it, and I apologize to Callie Hart because it was truly, truly great. Like the way you write, very good. So nothing bad about you. Your characters, I just personally did not like.
I'm gonna kind of hop on that train actually. The viral book that I don't recommend from Book Talk is unfortunately Brimstone.
There
And
it
I
is.
liked Quicksilver. I was really excited for Brimstone to come out. And I was so disappointed. Like I had to DNF it. And I don't DNF a book lightly.
That is true.
And again, apologies to you, Miss Hart. Everybody's gonna like what they like, and everybody's gonna not like what they don't like. And for me, I felt like Brimstone started out kind of strong. And then about halfway through, I kept catching these like colloquialisms or like kind of anachronistic like phrases or terms that I was like, why is this in like a high fantasy book? It really took me out of the story. And I really wanted to like it, but I did not.
That's very valid. Very
All
valid.
right. The one that you do recommend.
Oof. There are a lot of people that say they've read books on Book Talk and they're like, I don't recommend this. And there are a lot of people so I started a book club in Fort Myers, and we had like a little meetup with like 4 of us, and they were like, we don't like to read Book Talk books because they're so overhyped. But I will say, so far, what is very accurately hyped to me, Throne of Glass. Very, very accurately hyped. If y'all follow me on TikTok, y'all know I'm about to start the tandem read, and I am
On
so
your Throne of
lit.
Glass grind.
I'm about to grind it out. Well, I had to take a break because my future mother-in-law bought me one of the books in the tandem read for my birthday in October. And then I kind of got some little intel. Julie, if you're listening to this, I did not get any intel, but I got a little bit of
Yeah,
intel,
Julie,
not
there was
to.
no intel.
Right. So I got a little bit of not intel that I shouldn't buy the next book in the tandem read because I could possibly get it for Christmas. So I did get it for Christmas. So I was on kind of like a pause until I had both the books because I knew for sure I wanted to tandem read. Because one of the books is about my absolute least favorite character, and they're like, you will not want to read just this book. You want to tandem them. So, but just, oh my gosh. And it's like changing my life, honestly. It's so good. And the very first one, I read Assassin's Blade first, and I will die on that hill that Assassin's Blade should be first.
Okay, then maybe that's where I have to start.
Yeah, some people die on
Okay.
the hill that it should be third or fourth or whatever. I die on the hill that it should be first because I appreciate knowing backstory when I go in. And I felt like yes, Assassin's Blade is kind of boring because it's like 5 different stories in one book. It's all around the same main character, Selena Sardothian, but it's kind of like these adventures that she's going on, and it'll all tie together through the series. And so if you read Throne of Glass and then the next 1 or 2 and then go to Assassin's Blade, you're like going backwards. So it kind of like pauses the storyline that you're on to give you backstory about her, and then it brings you back to the present day. Whereas reading Assassin's Blade first gave me all the backstory, and then when I jumped into Throne of Glass, this probably won't be a spoiler for you very much. I'm trying to keep it a spoiler free because I really want you to read it. But like going from Assassin's Blade to Throne of Glass made so much sense because I was like, okay, I get Endovir. Like I know what's going on. I know Endovir, and like I know kind of why she's there and what she's doing, and things like that. So it's like changing my life. I am like obsessed with these characters. When you think you can't get hit in the feels, it hits you in the feels.
No.
It's so good.
Okay, Sam Beach, I know you're listening. because you are one of our most loyal Feral fans. I know you're listening. So I will agree to read Throne of Glass, the whole series, with you this year if you'd like. But I'm gonna need you to be a good buddy reader because you read way faster than me.
Someone reads faster than you?
Yeah, girl. Actually,
Sam,
so
Sam, I could never buddy read with you because you'd be so mad at me. You'd be like, be so for real, get on your grind set, because you'd be like, I can't believe this.
And actually, you know what? A lot of people will be reading faster than me right now. Lishi finished the book club book before I had even downloaded it, so.
I just downloaded it as everyone in our book club was like, I can't believe that's the ending. I'm like, ooh, maybe I should actually get started.
I think you're gonna like it. I mean, so our book club is reading the Neverlist, and well, reading. Some of us have already read it. I think as long as we're done with it by the end of January, I think that's fine.
Yes.
I really think you're gonna like it. I think the plot is really good. I thought the spice was like top tier. And I think you're going to like the FMC because I don't feel like she's whiny. Like, and you hate a whiny FMC. So I feel like you're really gonna like her. I feel like you're going to appreciate her motivations. I feel like you're gonna appreciate like her pragmatics and her personality. So I think you're gonna like it. I don't know that you're gonna love the why choose element. I love a why choose.
So interesting. I am so not into choose.
I love a why choose. But I digress. Anyway, we're reading the Neverlist. It's not really a dark romance. I guess it's kind of dark. It has dark elements, sort of. I don't know. I'm not started. Romance. Anyway, if anybody else wants to comment and tell us what you thought of the Neverlist, I'd love to have a conversation about it.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay, this is going to be so hard for me to choose the viral book that I would recommend because most of the books that I find on Book Talk that I then read, I do think are good. I'm a Passenger Princess reader, so there's not, like, it's not often that I'll say, oh, well, I didn't like, I don't know. It's not often that I will rate a book below a 3. Sorry to Miss Alta, because I did rate your book a 3.
Oh, absolutely. And I'd do it again.
I'd do it again. Well, the one I've been recommending a lot recently has been Bad Bishop. I really enjoyed that book. That put me in a huge reading slump. And also, thanks LJ Shen for reposting my video about my reading slump from Bad Bishop because, yeah, it was a bad reading slump. I don't know. I really liked that one, so I recommend that one quite a bit. I also will always recommend Kiss of the Basilisk, just so everybody else can also suffer with me.
That one is also still on my list.
And I need you to read it so that I can get your reactions on that as well.
I have so many books that I am trying to get through right now. I'm like, why do I commit myself to all these books?
I really just need to know when you get to the part about when you read this book, because I know you're going to read this book someday. I am going to need an immediate text when you get to the part about the claw with what the first thing that popped into your mind was.
Okay.
Plug your ears for a minute. Plug your ears for a minute. Don't listen. Because everybody else, the readers, it was literally the aliens from Toy Story. The claw. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
You're good.
My
Come
ears like, okay.
Okay. All right. So,
wow.
in our last segment tonight, it's a short pod.
It is a short one, but that's okay.
You know what? I feel like we say that about every, like, in-between episode. I don't want to call it a filler episode because that feels like a throwaway. But every, like, in-between episode, I feel like we always think it's going to be really short. And then it turns out, like, we will have talked for at least 45 minutes by the end of it.
Yep.
So, All right, for our last segment tonight, we're going to talk about our current reads and then let you know what we'll be reading on the pod next. We put up a poll on our TikTok, and a lot of you voted. Thanks for that. So it did help us pick. Thanks for that. But our current reads, what are you reading?
I am reading 2 different books right now. One I will probably put down for a bit because I missed the deadline with my work book club, so apologies to work book club.
Fired
Um,
from that.
yes, so I just switched over to a brand new clinic we are opening next week, and so all this week we've been like putting things together in our clinic, and so today was supposed to be our book club meeting at the old clinic, and I was like, you know what? I didn't read the book. I'm gonna just put it on pause. But that book was Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney.
Okay.
And it's really good for those of you on the pod who haven't heard of it. It essentially is about this guy. He's an author. He's like on the phone. His wife calls him, and then all of a sudden she like gets out of her car. Then he doesn't hear her voice anymore, and she just kind of disappears. Like he
Oh.
finds her car and her jacket on the side of the road. Her car's still running, but they don't find her. Um and then he ends
A
up like
thriller.
going, yeah, a thriller, and then he ends up going to like this isolated island to try to like gain his, mental state back, and he sees her or someone who looks like her, and so that's like the premise of the novel.
Oh, okay. I think I have read about this one. And another Alice Feeney book is on like our book club list too,
Hmm.
Rock, Paper, Scissors. So honestly, I had to look up what it was about because I don't even remember. But anyway.
Yeah, I remember reading the like synopsis of it, and I thought it was going to be really good, so I'm excited to read that one too. But the other book that I'm reading that I probably will try to finish pretty soon, that I am like obsessed with, y'all. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I'm obsessed with it. It's called Ask for Andrea, and I can't remember the author's name. I know her last name is Illy or Eiley, however you say it. But I think her first name is maybe like Nicole, something along those lines. And I have the book literally 10 steps away, but I am in my bed and it's 11:30 p.m., so I am not going to get up.
Noel. Noel.
Noelle.
Eiley? Eiley?
Yes. No, so Noelle, Eiley, however you say your name. So sorry, Noelle. It's so good. If you haven't heard of this one, everyone, it is um essentially like serial killer, like Ted Bundy type vibes. This guy goes on dates with these girls, uses his good looks to like charm these girls, and then he murders them, and the story is being told from 3 of his victims' point of view as they are dead women, and they are trying to figure out how to haunt him and stop him from hurting other women. So it's really interesting because it bounces back and forth between their 3 POVs and like them finding out that they're dead and like what they do next, and it's just so like I've been hooked because like you finish with one POV and then you move on to the next chapter, but you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to know what the other POV is going on, but then something interesting is happening in this one. It's so good. 10 out of
Yeah.
10 so far, recommend.
Awesome. I love when there's multiple POVs. And I think the reason is, and this is probably not really applicable to Ask for Andrea. I don't know. I've never read it, so maybe it is. I love to know what's going on specifically in the MMC's head
Mm,
because I feel like so often the book is written primarily from the FMC's point of view, and
true.
I love a minute where the MMC is like, yeah, no, actually, hey, here's my thoughts.
I think a lot of
Um,
people do that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's not as hot a take as I thought it was. I
well,
don't know.
people ask for like Zayden's POV of stuff and like Rhysand's
Mm-hmm.
POV just because
Mm-hmm.
we get so many books and like Violet's POV and Pharaoh's
Right.
POV. So,
Right. And the whole book is from her
literally.
POV.
What are you
But
reading?
I do love that. Oh, so I'm like 95% of the way through Mafia and Scars by Isa Oliver. And it is a mafia romance, of course, about
Mhm.
a neurodivergent mafioso.
Oh.
um and this I don't know how to describe her, like mafia adjacent through no fault of her own, former ice skater, and her two kids, one of whom is also neurodivergent, and it kind of just really, I think it's done a really nice job of like visibility specifically for autism. Not only that, but I think that Issa did a really nice job of having a disclaimer at the beginning, stating like autism looks different for everybody. This is the way that we and our family have experienced autism. This is like what we know to be true from our experience. You may have a different experience, and that's okay. So I think it does a really good job of visibility and advocacy, actually, for the autism community. Of which, disclaimer, I'm not a part of the community, but I do work really closely with a lot of individuals with autism. So just, from my perspective as a community adjacent individual, I thought it did a really nice job. And I think it's a really cute romance so far. Like, I think it's really a sweet story about two people meeting each other where they're at. And I don't know, I don't think it's been exceptionally dark, with the exception of like, what murder?
Yeah.
So for the most part, it really focuses more in on their relationship rather than any kind of mafia dealings. So, and he has a cat.
Even
Yeah,
better.
I know, right? So sometimes we love a man with a cat.
Yeah.
All right, what are we reading next?
Next, we are reading, drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Anathema by Carrie Lake, which
This
I
is,
am so excited about.
yeah, it's the first one in a duology. Actually, I think it's becoming a trilogy. I just saw on her social media the other day that she had announced a third book in that series. So,
Carrie is cooking. She's in the
uh,
lab
she
cooking.
cooking. She's got a lot of really popular dark romance books.
Yes,
I'm
I.
I'm gonna fully admit I'm a little nervous because the blurb says it's a slow burn. You know how I feel about a slow burn. Carrie, if we get, no tea, no shade, but if we get to 75% of the way through the book and they not doing anything,
When we see you, Carrie, it's gonna be a problem. But not yet, because we haven't started. But I'm
we don't
just
know.
letting you know
We don't know. If
it
you've
could potentially be a problem.
Yeah, if you've read Anathema, feel free to DM us your Feral Fan confession about how you felt about it on TikTok. I don't know which side's going to be the middle, so wherever the middle is, I'm going to put our QR code for our TikTok there. We are on TikTok as at feral.fiction.pod. Inevitably, it's going to be over here, and I'm going to point over here. I don't know. I can never figure it out. It'll be in the middle.
You point one way and I'll point the other way.
Okay, which way are you going?
I'm gonna go this way. It's over here. It'll be one of those ways.
And watch, actually, we're both pointing towards the outside of the video. I don't know,
I
y'all.
read one of Carrie Lake's other books. She
Did
has
you
one.
read Nocticadia?
I read Nocticadia, and it Chef's Kiss. It was so good. It was so good, and like it is just it was amazing. I think you would like it. It's dark in a sense of like it's dark academia, right? So it's in school setting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a slight age gap, like professor student type thing. It was so good. It was so good. It had some ghosts, had like secret society. Ooh, it was good. She did her
Okay.
thing. Miss Carrie did her thing.
Carrie Lake, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know. I got a smooth brain tonight.
You and me both. I am excited to start reading our next book. I need to try to finish ask for Andrea at some point, but Anathema, I will probably start it ASAP because I do need to read more of that.
If you've read Anathema, send us a DM or a comment or something. The book is broken into 3 parts. Usually when we read a longer book, we do break it into 2 parts for the pod. So let us know, will it be awkward for us to break it in half, like in the middle of part 2? Or will it be okay? We don't know. Let us know somehow. DM us, comment, find a pigeon or something. I don't know. They still have
Yes.
carrier pigeons?
You know, I feel like they do.
They got to somewhere, right?
I would think so.
But find a way to get us a message. Do not send us snail mail.
Yeah, no, please don't.
You could also send us an email. We do have an email address that is listed on our TikTok. And if you want to email us, be nice because we're sensitive.
Please. And yes, remember that we're doing our best and it is late at night. So
And I'll cry.
we have very muy smooth brain.
Yeah.
So
No ridges or lumps. No valleys or bumps.
yeah.
All the
But
right
don't
off.
forget, go on TikTok, vote for who you think had the best draft lineup for the night. I personally
You know
think
I'm
I
gonna
had
have to. Oh, listen.
a
You know I'm
very
gonna have
heavy
to go
hitters.
back and watch the whole pod to make the TikTok post.
Yeah, I was about to say we'll figure out how to make the TikTok post, but I do
When we
think
actually remember to make it.
I had some very heavy hitters in my lineup, so I feel like I could take the
Hitters.
dub.
You did. Well, listen. If you hadn't gone first, I would also have one of those heavy hitters in my lineup. But I didn't have that as an option. Now did I? You're stealing Zayd Meadows from me.
Yeah.
Okay. See, and I told you guys that we would say it's not going to be a long pod. Here we are. It is 47 minutes in. Although,
We always do this.
to be fair, if you're watching this after it's been edited, which you all will be watching it after it's been edited, so I don't know why I said that because I have a smooth brain tonight. There will be some that got cut out, so it may not actually be 47 minutes. It might be 45.
True.
Who knows? So.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. See you Friday.
Good Friday.